Hello, and welcome back to our video series where we rank the best roller coasters that opened in a specific year. This is episode 9, so it's time to rank the best roller coasters that opened in 2009. But before we begin, please help us beat the YouTube algorithm by giving this video a like, subscribing to our channel, and turning on post notifications for new uploads. We're celebrating having just hit 2,000 subscribers, and we greatly appreciate the support from every single one of you. And now, without further ado, here are the top 10 roller coasters that opened in 2009, ranked from worst to best. As always, in this series, we only rank coasters that were newly constructed for each season, so you will not see coasters that were relocated and opened at a different park in 2009 on this list. And the coasters are ranked based on how they operated at the time of their opening year. That is, if they became rougher or have closed or had modifications in later years, that will not play a role in how they are ranked today. Now, let's get down to business. Kicking off the countdown at number 10 is... That was weird. Where's number 10? Kicking off the countdown at number 9 is... Lucky number 8? What's happening?
Dude, only 7 new coasters were built in the US in 2009.
Really? Wow. Okay then. Thanks, Obama.
I'm sorry. Who's that back there? What the heck are you talking about?
As it turns out, we don't even have enough for a top 10 following our own rule of not ranking relocated coasters. And we thought 2007 and 2008 had low numbers with 21 new coasters. Compare that to 40 new in 2001. Well, so here's the top 7 coasters that opened in 2009. Kicking off the countdown is Cosmos Curves at Knoebels. Say that 7 times fast. This custom E&F Miler family coaster replaced another family coaster at Knoebels, which was High Speed Thrill Coaster after it reached the end of its service life. We were lucky enough to get that credit during its final season in 2008. Cosmos Curves is a 20-foot tall family coaster, so there's really not much to say about it, but with only 7 coasters to rank, this list had to start somewhere, and it lands at number 7 by default. Only 5.5 hours from Knoebels by car down the eastern seaboard is our number 6 coaster from 2009, Grover's Alpine Express at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. With how terrible 2009 is looking so far, I'm surprised it's not an actual Alpine coaster. And somehow it's worse. It's a Zero family coaster. Filling a huge hole in their coaster lineup, Busch Gardens Williamsburg added a family coaster, but in typical Busch fashion, they skimped on the snow theming. This does not bode well for Arctic Rescue. Rocking the number 5 position is... Oh, hey look! Finally, a real coaster! Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket at Universal Studios Florida is a really mediocre coaster, This More Rides X car is perhaps the most polarizing roller coaster amongst enthusiasts. Some love it, while some hate it. Put us in that latter group. It's not Maverick bad, but this is a coaster we just don't understand. It starts out great with a moving platform station and a vertical lift where riders choose their on-ride music. Our go-to is Stockholm Syndrome by Muse. It's one of the secret songs. But even that banger of a song doesn't really help make the ride any good, which is full of turbulent roughness, poorly designed drops and transitions, and lots of block break zones. 4 of them to be exact. And speaking of 4, taking the ton number 4 spot is a coaster named after the 4th installment of the Terminator movie franchise, Terminator Salvation the Ride at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Built by Great Coasters International, Terminator Salvation took over the plot of land previously held by Cyclone, which was one of the worst coasters we've ever been on. Check out that video. When the ride opened, it had onboard audio, which was a very unique feature for a wooden coaster. It also had some really decent theming for Six Flags. From the scenic pieces throughout the queue, to a couple pre-show segments once inside the lower level of the station, which set up the storyline of the ride. The ride is now named Apocalypse the Ride, and despite its multiple retrackings, it hasn't aged well. But it was one of our favorite wooden coasters when it opened. But even today, it's better than the movie it was named after. Just remember, if you're living in a post-apocalyptic world and trying to escape attacking machines, take the tunnel. Clawing its way into the number 3 spot is Prowler at Worlds of Fun. Dude, that's the wrong Prowler. At the time of this video, it's still the newest coaster in the park, with Zambezi Zinger opening later this year. Prowler is the second and much better GCI coaster on this list. We love how the ride uses the terrain during its twisting out and back journey of more than 3,000 feet. The ride stands at a height of 102 feet and drops riders 85 feet into a ravine during its swooping first drop, where it reaches a top speed of 51 miles per hour. And then it's a bunch of twists and turns through a forest of trees, which is really awesome. The stats don't look like much, but the ride is a lot of fun. It reminds us a lot of a GCI fan favorite, Mystic Timbers at Kings Island. Prowler also received the Golden Ticket Award for Best New Ride of 2009. However, there are a couple rides that we think are better. Splashing into the number 2 spot is Manta at SeaWorld Orlando. It was the 5th and last B&M flyer to be built in the US, and today remains our favorite. Yes, even over Tatsu. It starts off with a swooping drop of 113 feet directly into a 98-foot tall pretzel loop, followed by an inline twist and a corkscrew before hitting a mid-course break, which is the only negative of Manta. Then it's a drop into one of the coolest features on any coaster, a curving drop over a body of water that's so low it has you nearly skimming across the surface. A series of water jets shoot up, creating a splashing effect. Then, the train makes a close call with a waterfall before inverting riders one last time during a second inline twist. Manta is the perfect blend of fun and intensity packaged up nicely with top-tier theming, which is why it ranks above Tatsu, and comes in at number 2. And the coaster is blue. Okay, that's all I can do. Oh, hey, how about that? It rhymed again. Slithering into the number 1 spot is Diamondback at Kings Island. Not only is it the best new coaster of 2009, it's the best B&M hyper we've been on. It all starts off with one of the best restraints in the business. Gosh, we really love the B&M clamshell restraints. The trains also have an unconventional seating arrangement. The rows have staggered seating 2 across, which gives every rider an open side. The ride stands at 230 feet tall with a first drop of 215 feet, where you will reach a top speed of 80 miles per hour. Its airtime moments are relentless from beginning to end. After the first drop, it's airtime hill after airtime hill. In total, you will hit 5 hills, all with drops that are greater than 100 feet. The ride finishes with a very cool and memorable splashdown before hitting the final brakes. Diamondback is seriously about as perfect a coaster as you can get, and it really holds up 14 years later. Okay, this concludes the top coasters that opened in 2009. And what a minimal year it was. Out of the 7 new coasters built in the US, only 5 were adult coasters. But at least the top 3 are still top tier, borderline elite coasters today. So it wasn't exactly a bad year. Why do you think that 2009 was such a down year for major coasters? And what would you change in your own ranking? Let us know in the comments below. Next month, we move on to a new decade and rank the top 10 coasters that opened in 2010. Thanks for counting down with us, and we will see you in the next video.